Welcome to UWS Weekly, a show that is dedicated to covering United Women's Soccer, a national pro-am league with your host, Jonathan Ward. Each and every week, we will highlight players, supporters, and staff of the clubs we all pride ourselves to support in North America. The UWS is a league that is committed to advancing women's soccer. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to UWS Weekly, a show dedicated to the best Pro-Am league in North America and powered by Reboot. Reboot is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to help more kids play soccer while creating opportunities to practice generosity, empathy, and leadership. Check them out at reboot.soccer today to find out more ways to help your community and the youth. Tonight, I'm excited to have the opportunity to talk to three amazing individuals who, as of today, represent the newest club in UWS, in Coppermine United. I'd like to welcome Club Director of Coaching and Head Coach Val Teixeira and players Hayley Brock and defender Marcela Robinson. Good evening, you guys. How is everything going? How are you guys doing?
Doing good. Thank you.
Good. Excited to be here.
Yes, thank you for having us.
I'm excited to have you guys on and kind of get to know more about Coppermine as well as your own journeys through soccer and how you guys ended up here. But first, let's get started with, tell me how you each fell in love with the game.
Do you guys want to go first?
I guess I'll go first. I actually grew up in Massachusetts, and I started playing soccer at the local rec center when I was about 5 years old. And I played at this one facility for like most of my childhood. And I just absolutely loved it. I would just sign up for like league after league and just play in like 6 or 7 games a day when I started being like 7 or 8. And I just like fell in love with it and just wanted to be involved with it more. Then started playing club soccer, I think around 8 or 9. And then I just stuck with it.
Yeah, I think pretty much the same. I was 4 years old when my parents threw me in soccer, and I was bigger than all the other kids, so I kind of like was better because I was just big and like stronger. But then I fell in love with it after that, and my club was the Baltimore Bays, and then they transitioned into Premier and then Coppermine. So I've been with Coppermine basically since I was 8 or 9 years old.
I was born in Portugal, so my dad was a vice president for a soccer club. So since I was 5 years old, he used to bring me up to the fields, and I started playing around club soccer when I was 7, and that's how I fell in love with the game. So I was just been around the game since I was 5 years old. Then my dad used to bring me to the games, and I used to hang out with them in the locker room and watch the players train, and just became a passion for me.
Well, so you guys have a UWS2 club, and it's relatively new as well, but did really well in its inaugural year and this past season. But what interested you, Val, in bringing a club to UWS, already having one in UWS2?
So we always had the ambition to bring, a women's team to Baltimore and to play the most competitive league. So we try to play in different leagues previous years. But we always felt that we needed to play where we would have more challenge in a league that would be a little bit more, professional environment. And I think, after talking to a few people from UWS, we felt that this would be a perfect fit for us. And we started last year with the WS2, and it was a fantastic year. So I think, for the players and the coaching staff and the club, we have ambitions and goal to play at a higher level. So we want to make that jump to the top tier and give our players the opportunity to play for a national title.
Marcela, Hayley, what's it like? You guys are instrumental parts of the club as well, coaching at the youth level. What does it mean to each of you to be able to participate at UWS, to kind of show your abilities, but also help other girls see this opportunity that comes around?
Well, personally for me, like I started this year coaching at the high school level, and a lot of the girls have like big ambitions to play in college and to play afterwards and to continue playing as long as they possibly can. So it was kind of cool for me. Like they came to their games this summer And even though I was a new coach, they hadn't seen it yet. They were just all so excited that these opportunities are out there. So I think this is just like a really great program for the city, because now these girls have something to look forward to and to keep working towards after their college experience.
Yeah, I agree with Hayley. This has been an awesome opportunity, and I think so many of the girls coming out, we were able to be role models for these girls and a bigger version of themselves. And the girls after the games would be like, "Oh my gosh, you're so great!" And just hearing that is just awesome that they were paying attention and they're involved, and it's a positive environment for them to see and continue to grow in.
How soon are you guys looking to get started with the roster makeup of the club itself?
So, I mean, we already have a good core of players, but obviously moving up to the top tier, we would have to evaluate, other players that we could potentially bring into the club. So between myself and the other coaches in the team, we have to sit down possibly after the holidays and go over, where we need to strengthen our squad and where we can bring players from, and make sure they're a good fit, because at the end of the day, we want to bring players that are good role models, players that understand the club structure, and they're going to be, around in the community doing the things that we want to help out around the community in the city.
Hayley, let me ask you a question. You played for the Red Stars, and you've now moved back to kind of your hometown where you played collegiately. What does it mean to have this opportunity going into this new year?
I think it's great. Like, so obviously I was fortunate enough to be able to get drafted and play for the Red Stars for a season. And honestly, my body was just like mentally and physically just exhausted. So that was in 2015. So I've had about 6 years to like kind of recover. And it's just awesome that this opportunity was here, and Val was able to bring me back in and get me my touch back and get me back in a little bit of shape and be able to play the game I love at such a high level again. And it's pretty cool because usually like I was in College Park, but we were playing like Loyola and other schools that are around this area, and in Towson and all them. And now I get to be teammates with those girls. So it's just a pretty cool opportunity to be able to combine all the talent in the area together.
And Marcela, you've also had the collegiate opportunity, but now you're playing at the UWS level. You played at the international level. You have caps for Puerto Rico. You've even scored on your first cap, I believe. Is that true?
Yeah. Yeah, no,
That's
that
awesome.
was so awesome. I played, we were in women's CONCACAF qualifiers, and I think it was 2018. I was so nervous. I remember seeing the starting lineup just freaking out because I didn't really think I'd ever start. I just, it was my first cap. And yeah, I scored a header on a corner, and yeah, it kind of went crazy. I was really, really excited. And just to have the opportunity to play for the island was, I mean, I can't ask for anything better than that. That was great.
And you're also heading back into UWS. What does it mean to have this opportunity to play at a higher level to potentially get you back into the squad?
Yeah, it's great to just even be with players that were in the club, in my youth club. So, and then players like Hayley who have such great experience, and then players from all over the country now. It's really great to just kind of get everyone's experiences together and see what we can bring on the field.
Hey Val, let me ask you. You have a youth club that is associated with your new franchise here for UWS and UWS2. What is the overall mission of the club as well as the organization that is in UWS?
Yeah, so for the youth club, we have about 1,000 kids in our club. So I would say 60 teams, kind of 50-50 about, boys side and the girls side. And our mission is to, provide an opportunity for each kid to experience soccer and have fun, enthusiastic atmosphere, and to kind of build a passion for them so they can, become better role models and better players and athletes at the end. So we want to make sure that, promote a good sportsmanship, good teamwork, and strong work ethic for the youth. In a woman's side, we want to, build good character people, great women that could be role models within the club, within the community. And Hayley and Marcela are great examples of that. I mean, they've played youth soccer, and now they're giving back to the club. They coach high school, they coach at the club, and they're excellent role models because they've played in every level there is in a women's soccer.
Hayley, Marcela, what is the overall goal this inaugural year for you guys in UWS? If there's one thing you're to take away, is it a trophy or is it the experience for everybody? What is the goal that you guys have set for the 2022 year?
I think, like, obviously the experience is going to be great. Like, bringing all this talent together is just super awesome. We actually have a really tight knit group and we all bonded like very well and we meshed well together. But at the end of the day, knowing that my other teammates, knowing Marcella and all our personalities, like, we don't just play for the experience, we play to win. So we definitely want to go into this league and make an impact and get good results.
Yeah, Hayley nailed it. I mean, they're like my family now. Hayley and I might have just met this season, but I mean, I think we talk every day now. So it's just been great. Obviously, want to compete, want to win. Nothing better than that, honestly.
Val, you had a lot of decisions that you were able to make last year heading into the inaugural season with UWS 2. But what drew your organization to that entity that is UWS 2?
So during COVID, we already had a women's team that was trying to find the best fit for us to play. So we were able to, scrimmage Lancaster Inferno, which is a great organization. And, thankful we learned a lot from them and they kind of gave us some feedback about the league. So when we scrimmaged them, we could tell that the level was very high and was what we were looking for. So that made us join the WS 2 to kind of see where things would go. But, thankfully things went extremely well. And we said, I talked to the players and they all wanted to play in UWS 1. So we made that move together as a team. And, obviously the club wanted to back the girls and support them as well.
Hayley, Marcela, did you guys have to try out coming into last year? And if so, what was that experience like to try out?
Personally, I didn't have to try out. I'm not sure what the whole process was like for everyone, but for me, Val took a chance on me. Like, obviously, I'm the oldest player on the team, and I had been out of the game for the longest. But I think he saw something in me and thought I could bring something to the team, some value. So I used that practicing. Most of the girls were fresh off college seasons or had been playing more recently than I had. So I actually used the practices in the beginning. Like, I didn't start for my first probably 4 or 5 games. And I used the beginning times to get back in shape, to get my touch back, to get the playing back, and kind of prove that I deserved to be a player that was starting and on the field and could make a difference.
Yeah, I don't think I exactly tried out, but I think I was a year and a half removed from school. So like Hayley, I mean, practices are really tough. A lot of the girls from college were already fit. And so getting that fitness in was a little hard, but overall it was awesome. Great experience. Super, just like it was high energy every practice. It was intense and fun, and I was able to get fit enough to play.
Val, what is it you're looking for in players who are trying to be a part of not just this team, but this community?
So there's a lot of things that we look in a player, not just the ability to play at a high level, but we look at their character, their, body language, how they interact with some of the players. So we have a large pool of players that we have, but we always look at, the main thing of each player as an athlete. So we want to bring kids that are going to be, good on the field and off the field as well. So obviously, Marcel and Hayley, like I mentioned before, they're great role models, and we are able to provide them with some extra income as far as coaching for the club, working summer camp. So we want to bring players that can contribute, for the team, for the club, for the community, and do a lot of different things in this area.
Have you found the process of starting this organization to be easy, Val?
I mean, it wasn't necessarily easy. Obviously, it takes a lot of work to put this together. I mean, I have a great staff that works with me on a daily basis. I mean, we have, 2 or 3 people that work in the marketing department, and we have a couple of people that work with team management. We have our corporate office that does all the ticketing and the merchandise. So, I mean, we have a staff of 8 to 10 people that work extremely hard to make this possible. So obviously, we try to build a professional atmosphere And we have a lot of local corporate companies that help us with sponsorships, and also we have our fan base within the club, and then community that helps us a lot in our home games as well.
Val, Marcela, what advice, what do you think is going to what do you think is going to separate the club from others who are in the league this year? Obviously, you had a taste of UWS too, but now it's probably a different ball game. And what do you think is going to separate Coppermine from others?
I think Coppermine really is a family. I know a lot of teams say that, but these girls, a lot of them I've grown up with, and even the youth players that come out and support us, it means a lot when you have those fans. And when we played the Bermuda national team, it was crazy how many people came out. And I really think just the influence and overall just support that we get is going to separate us from other clubs.
One thing I'll say for sure is like Baltimore does have a lot of pride in their teams, no matter what level they're at. So we do get a lot of support, and it's pretty cool to just like represent for a city like this. So I think a lot of us take that pride in consideration, and we do have a really tight knit group. And I think that our cohesiveness and the support that we have is kind of unmatched. And I think that it will lead us to doing big things when we enter this league.
Obviously, it's considered the off season as we know it, but what are you all doing to make sure you stay in at least somewhat physical shape to where you can get out, get a couple touches, and you're right back in it? What's the off season look like in terms of a plan, whether it's dietary, whether it's strength training? What is it that you do to make sure that you're performing at your peak?
Well, for me, like, I don't want to come in as I did last season and have to like work my way to get there 5 games in. I would like to start at the level that I got to. So I've been trying to do a little bit more in the free time that I do have to be prepared. And I plan on like jumping in. Like I know Val will let me jump in on some of his practices. He hosts a lot, and just maybe get some touches on so I can get ready for the season.
For me,
Yeah. Go ahead,
okay, sorry. For me, I train youth players, and so honestly, they've been practice for me. I had a girl out on yesterday afternoon, and I was able to get some touches in there. I recently got my certification for strength training, so when I do some strength and conditioning with youth players, I'm able to get in there too.
Yeah, so one of the great things about Coppermine is that we are not only soccer, we have fitness gyms, we have indoor facilities, so the players can come and do a workout in one of our 12 facilities. And since they all around, they know they can come during the winter time and do some training. We usually get together during the holidays when most players are back from school break, and we do train 3 times a week just to get everyone back in a rhythm. And then we'll try to get some tryouts sometime in January, and then we'll try to start as early as first week of May once the players from college get released. So that's our target date to start.
All right. Well, before I get into some questions regarding the community, I have some fire questions for you guys where I ask these questions and kind of puts you on the hot seat a little bit to find out more about you guys. So let's go ahead and get started with this. And we'll start with what would you consider your spirit animal to be?
Mine is definitely a giraffe. I say that because I like have an obsession with giraffes. I think they're beautiful animals, but I'm just really like I'm tall and long, and like giraffes are too. And I just think I don't know, they're just great. I really like them. So that's always been my spirit animal.
Spirit animal. Val, you go next.
I mean, I don't have one, but if I had to choose, I would probably say a lion, because I'm very vocal with them. I'm very passionate about the game, so I guess that'll probably be my choice.
That was good.
I would say I've never thought about this.
It's the first time for everything, Hayley.
Yeah,
welcome to UWS Weekly.
You really put me on the spot with this one. I don't know. Definitely an animal like a dog or something. like bounces around, got a lot of energy, short
Yes.
attention span. That would be me.
I think we could go with your spirit animal just being Tigger.
Okay, yeah.
Tigger from Pooh, right?
Yeah.
What advice would you give to a younger you?
I would just say, like, for a younger person, just like to not take everything like so seriously, like just enjoy the process, like enjoy the time. Like it really does go in a blink of an eye. So just like take your time, enjoy yourself, don't stress, and just have fun with it. Like remember that like it's nice being able to remember that soccer is a really fun game, and you got to remember that no matter what level you're at.
Yeah, I mean, play every game like it's your last. Seriously. You never know when an injury can happen. You don't know when, something bad can happen. So really just take every game seriously.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, just enjoy the moment, enjoy the process. Every game is a memory for you, regardless if it's a win or a loss, and it's a learning process as you grow up as an athlete. So definitely enjoy every moment that you can on and off the field.
Last question, and then we'll get into talking about the community that surrounds Coppermine. But what is the worst soccer-specific test and why?
Fitness test?
Worst fitness test.
For me, it's yo-yo.
So we like at Maryland, we only did 300s in the beep test. I feel like the beep test just has this like, there's something mentally hard about it. Like the test itself, if you like just do it like on your own, isn't that bad. But when you get there and you hear that beep, there's something that just like makes you like drop, and it's just mentally so hard.
Yeah, that's pretty terrifying. I'll just try to pick another one. We had Suicide Mile, and that's pretty deadly. It's like just hit every single line, every single time, twice for 120. It's absolutely terrible. It takes like 7 minutes, and your legs are dead. But that'd probably be mine.
The Man U is also a difficult fitness test that I do with, my high school and some of my club teams too. But at the end of the day, it's definitely worth it.
All right, well, let's talk a little bit about Baltimore and the community that supports Coppermine. What impact do you think the organization will have on local leagues as well as the community to build an interest or maybe even bridge the gap for women's soccer in Baltimore?
I mean, Baltimore, like Hayley said, is a massive soccer city. I mean, there's a lot of youth kids that play around Coppermine locations. So our goal last year was to introduce the team to the city, to get the name out there. And we were actually able to bring some youth teams from different clubs to support us. So our goal for next year is to go out in a community and provide some training for some of these youth players, and just give them the opportunity to come watch us and have a goal to possibly play for us as they get older. So it's very important to be involved in the community, show a positive initiation to kind of give those kids an opportunity to continue to play after high school, after college.
Hayley, Marcela, how big of an impact will the community have on the organization and your guys' efforts? Maybe it's match day efforts, maybe it's just your efforts for the full season. But what is the community going to do to drive you guys to, I don't know, play harder or stay focused or be more engaged as the season goes?
You got this, Marcela.
Oh, okay. I think word of mouth is huge. I think the soccer community is very small, no matter how big it seems. So I think once one team might say something, they pass it on to another team. They may have a sibling that's in another club. But that type of support and that type of just chain will really help us. Like I said, with the matches that we had and the home games and the amount of kids that would come out, I don't know what it is about kids, but their spirit is just like, it's great, and it helped me. I know it drives other, like my teammates, to play better. So I think that's huge.
I think our program is really good with the outreach on like social media and everything. So like they make like catchy things for us to repost and put up, and we all pretty much advertise our games pretty well. A lot of us help out with the youth, so we'll be working camps in the summer, and we'll go to every single kid and be like, are you coming tonight? And we get the interest there. We talk to the parents because obviously they have to drive those kids there. And we're really good about just informing people when we're playing, what we're doing, and getting ourselves out there. And we talk about it with everyone. We post it everywhere. We have a photographer who's really good at posting our stuff. So I feel like we've really have let people know who we are and what we're doing.
Well, before I let you guys go, community is huge, and it's a part of how we're able to grow as a club, as an organization, as a league. But I have to ask, what does community mean to each of you?
I mean, for me, community means, togetherness, family, environment, just being supportive of one another. That's what creates great communities. And I think, our franchise is definitely that. Like I mentioned before, we are not just a soccer club. We have pretty much every type of sport that you can think of in a summer. We average over 1,000 kids a week between all our camps. We have theater camp, we have soccer camp, lacrosse camp, football camp, basketball camp, and we serve over 25,000 people in the community. So I think Coppermine as a whole has proven that to everyone, that we are here to help the community, to offer them opportunities to bring their families to our facilities, get a workout, daycare opportunities. So it's a big support from us to the community, and vice versa. They help us a lot in the long run as well.
Yeah, I basically just think that community is some giving and taking. It's about an exchange, which is why I've gotten a lot from this community, and I've gotten some great opportunities, great work chances, this everything, which is why I wanted to coach in this community and help out and go to clinics and do camps and kind of give back to the younger kids in this community that have given me so many opportunities.
Yeah, community is a group of people that share a common goal, that want to support a similar cause. And I think that's why I'm sure like Hayley, we want to give back. We want to support the youth and coach youth soccer, because nothing like someone who's been through it to help you get through it.
Well, Val, Marcela, Hayley, thank you so much for taking the time to join me this evening and talk a little bit about Coppermine. You can follow them on social media. On Instagram, it's Coppermine United, and on Twitter, it's Coppermine SC. So you can make sure you follow them. Hey, you three, thank you so much for taking the time this evening. I wish you guys the best of luck this season in 2022 and the future as well. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah,
thank you for having me. Thank you.
Cheers, you guys.
Thanks.
See ya.
All right. Well, thank you to the group for joining me this evening from Coppermine United. Again, you can check them out, Instagram and Twitter, Coppermine United, on IG, Twitter, Coppermine SC. Joining me now live is the host of Our Cup of Tea, Megan. What is going on? How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. You guys got a show tonight.
Yes. So we pre-recorded it this morning. We also pre-recorded a really super fun Christmas special episode that will be coming out this weekend, get you guys in the festive spirit. But yeah, NWSL Championship game. We had to put out a show this evening to give everybody the recap of what an incredible game that was. Were you able to watch?
I have not been able to watch it. We were wife was out and about running around, and the kids were here. So we had our last soccer match this weekend and the party too. So those fun end of the year parties with all the pizza and kids and sugar. It's the best thing ever.
Yeah, I know about those end of season parties. We had a pool party with Unity. That was super fun. So I'm all about that. But definitely check out our recap to, find out what happened, and YouTube highlights as well. It was a great game, end to end stuff. So yeah, super exciting. That will be going live at 7:30 p.m. So we're giving you a little bit of time after UWS Weekly ends. Go brew some tea, come right back, and put on our cup of tea. I mean, what a great evening we have provided for these people. I
mean, it is later though, so they will need that decaf, Megan.
That's true. That is true. Decaf.
Well, awesome, Megan. Thank you so much for dropping by. I appreciate it. And
Yeah,
hey, we'll see you pre-recorded in a half hour.
Yes, and definitely go check out Coppermine. Their organization looks incredible. I'm super excited to have them in UWS.
Awesome, Megan. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, see you guys.
All right, cheers. All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in this evening for UWS Weekly. You can follow all things UWS and UWS2 on their social media pages and send your questions for future shows as well. And don't forget to join the Our Cup of Tea crew here in the next half hour. And also check out the nonprofit organization Reboot. Again, giving opportunities to reuse those boots that may need to be dusted off and give somebody else a chance at glory. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you guys next time on UWS Weekly. Cheers, everyone.